What is up? It is Dan McDonald, and today we're going to be talking about the number one thing that you can do to get healthy. Okay, I just finished 2 consults. It just keeps coming back to the same thing, and I am very well aware that this world, for humanity in an industrialized, highly technological society, that we are living in an upside down clown world twilight zone, but you still, as an individual, have an incredible amount of power to make daily decisions. So the number one thing, because I made a video probably 3 or 4 months ago, right here in this very kitchen. I'm on a work retreat. I had to get caught up with a bunch of stuff. And so I've got service, and I'm on the phone, and I'm getting caught up with all my stuff. This is one of my favorite places on earth, to be honest with you. Just this deep sink. I'm like, when I have a house, I want a sink like this, and I want these countertops too. Today, what can you do? All the people that are not well, can you dig it? Check this out, man. This is the easiest thing you can do, and it'll start the process of regenerating your entire life, my young Padawan learners. I don't know why I got so lucky. I just stayed with it, you know? I just stayed with it, and I noticed all these other people that just don't stay with it. They know, they have the knowledge, but you really got to apply it. And once the daily juicing habit is in your blood and in your bones, I went for a few weeks. Well, not really, because I was drinking this fresh apple juice and fresh orange juice. Now, the green juice is particularly medicinal. This is a lemon ginger blast. I borrowed a juicer from my mom, little tiny ass thing. It took me about an hour to make a gallon of lemon ginger blast with this thing, but it works. And then I use this thing right here to put a gallon of juice in, because I don't have a pitcher. I'm jimmy rigging my way through this thing, but I am dedicated. And when I drink that first juice, I made a green juice, a dark green juice. I know I'm yelling at you, but that's my habit here. This is the dark green, clean green, or the mean green with the DTM. And this one is the lemon ginger blast. Can you dig it? Either which way. The path of righteousness, my friends, I'm telling you this, you know, I'm just telling you right now, there's a reason. And the reason is because the whole society cooks everything. And that's why you use digestive enzymes and therapeutic enzymes. Okay? What's the difference? Well, the digestive enzymes help to digest your food, so your pancreas and your liver and your salivary glands don't have to double in size to try to keep up with the modern day cookery. I'm not against cooked foods. I'm not against anything. I'm not the food police. I'm simply trying to help people to alleviate all these diseases and stuff. Start on your cancer healing protocol 10 years ago. And if that doesn't work, then start on it today, because your family members will be like, well, I have cancer. And I've been doing this online for 17 years, so they know, and you know, and I'm not trying to be a smarty pants know-it-all, but the thing is, the whole society is eating 97% cooked and or ultra processed foods, completely devoid of enzymes. So how is the pancreas not going to be that's why the pancreas has to double and triple in size to keep up with Joe Bob's eating habits, the barbecue and the beer. And the livers follow suit. I mean, the pancreas is the one that's trying to produce enzymes enough to keep you alive by digesting and getting some nutrients out of the food. And the problem with living a life of nothing but digestion is that there's nothing left for the metabolic processes, because enzymes are responsible for every biochemical reaction in your entire body, including breaking down the food. But everybody is eating the cooked food every day. Like I said, I'm not against cooked food. It's not the big satanic evil or anything like that. But the problem is that nobody eats any raw food. So you're always borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. And eventually, after about the age of 35, your enzyme bank account is depleted. And you have no more going into your checking or savings account. And it's just, from there, it's a precipitous drop. And that's because in your genes and in your family history, you're going to go, because your bones and your muscles, but mostly your skeletal system and your brain are growing until about the age of 35. And the reason why is because that's about the time per average in a society living on cooked food and alcohol and stress and the other 5,000 things, coffee. I've been attacking the coffee lately. That also depletes the enzymes. And so we're just exhausted. There's no energy left. And there's no enzyme activity to make up for all the metabolic processes, which is your hair, your skin, your nails, your bones, your teeth, your eyes, your energy, your brain function. I mean, every single biochemical reaction in your body has to have the right enzyme in order for those cells and that, pathway to function. And so we're just sugar down, shut up, Dan McDonald. I don't like you. And I'm like, hey, everybody wake up. Let's get some energy. Let's come alive again with some enzymes, because the enzymes are the first things to go. Enzymes are the most heat sensitive of all these elements in the food. It's first the enzymes. They're gone. Little bit of heat, gone. Those are the food enzymes that pre-digest your food in your stomach while it's sitting there for an hour. But we cook it all away. So bolus, blob. And then your pancreas is like, oh God, he did it again. And then every day is like Thanksgiving nap time. So the food never gives us any energy. It just is always taking it away. Food is an interesting thing. It's a stimulant. And it's also a modulator. It's also a sedative. So food has many different uses. And I'm not putting any of those things down. There's a time to sedate yourself. Today sucked. I'm going to eat whatever, and I'm going to just put myself into a food coma, and we'll start over again tomorrow. Hey, nobody understands that more than your boy DTM. But then there's the day-to-day living where you really need to get the energy and the mental clarity so that you can do the things that you got to do. And especially when your doctor says, well, we have no clue, but you can take these pills. We're going to cut, we're going to burn, we're going to poison. Don't listen to those fools, Dan McDonald, that are trying to help you get slim and eliminate all disease conditions by utilizing green juice and enzymes. The number one thing that you can do to start the process of saturating, and I'm not talking about drinking 1 cup of juice. I'm talking about drinking 32 ounces of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, living water, phytonutrients, energy. That way the cells are hydrated, because this is H2O2, baby. Anti-gravitational water, living water. Sounds like the rantings of a madman. Well, here, go ahead. Go ahead, have a drink. And then watch the news, because your fluoride will be fluoridated. You will listen, and I, for the first time in years, watched TV last night, and now I understand why humanity is in the shape that it's in. Because they watch those commercials and they believe that crap. And it is pathetic. That's why I don't watch TV. And I said I'm never watching that thing again. I just watched Karate Kid, And and when the commercials came on, and I was like, wow, it was like a science experiment. Like, no wonder everyone is so brainwashed. Look at what they're saying. And then we just fall for it, and they believe in that stuff. It's really sad. It's a pathetic situation. They're always constantly using fear, but none of those things are actually happening in reality at all. Anyways, I digress. I'm going to get back to the point. I try to get to the point, but I love my little stories. I enjoy doing this, okay? Sometimes. But I should make a 2-minute video that just says, listen, if you drink the juice and you take 10 or 20, and what I'm saying about the enzymes is that either you take it with the food, because these are the lysozyme, and these are the digestive enzymes that help you break down your food. Listen, I'm not going to get the world to go on raw foods. I have accepted that. Am I going to get people to maybe eat a little bit more raw food? Like what's in season? There's grapes out here hanging on the vine. Apples and Asian pears are in season. Citrus is coming soon. Right now there's some hardy vegetables, and different ways that you can prepare those, the fall vegetables and whatnot. And then the winter's going to come and it's going to be slim pickings. Okay, and hopefully by then you have some dried figs and some walnuts, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. And then you learn how to soak and sprout the walnuts and turn them into, or just put them on an apple, raisin, celery salad with some walnuts. Make a Waldorf salad, you understand? But all those enzymes, and I believe in amino acids, and I believe in fatty acids, another thing I see on the internet. I know people get on here and they found out about fruitarianism or raw food or juice fasting or even water fasting or dry fasting 2 or 3 years ago, and now they're trying to cram this crap down your throat and tell you what a piece of shit you are because you're not doing up to their high level while their brain is slowly shrinking. Because yes, they're high, but they're taking out all the fats. That's another thing, the low fats, the brain shrinkage. You can see it in the eye sockets. As the brain shrinks due to lack of fat shortage, the eyes get deeper and deeper into the sockets. Anyhow, that's a whole nother thing you want to watch out for. So don't listen to these people that have been doing it for 2 or 3 years. Listen to the masters like me that have been doing it for 25. I am your master. I am the Darth Vader of raw foods. Okay, I'm just kidding, but don't be insane with one extreme or the other. These people are like, they've been doing it for 2 or 3 years and they think they can just tell you what a piece of garbage you are because you're still eating like meat or you're still eating like cooked food, and it's stupid. Okay, and if I ever do that, you have the ability. Now don't do anything with the stupid crap like I use Botox and Lou Corona uses Botox, or I dye my hair, because none of that crap is true. I see all the rumors. Look, I know I'm deadly handsome, okay? But I have not used Botox and I do not dye my hair, okay? I'm just a normal dude who's never done any of that crap, okay? I'm just getting up here trying to help people with the most simple, basic concept. All you need to know is that we are enzyme deficient, and if you drink one juice in the morning with 10 enzymes, better yet 20, I consider the juice on an empty stomach, then these will not only break down all the trash that's in your gut, they'll also make their way into your bloodstream, which is where all the metabolites end up going into your brain, keeping you in that doom loop. I'll never get out of this. This sucks. Life sucks. If you get your gut right, your brain will be like, hey, this shit is awesome, dude. Let's have some fun. Let's go hiking. Sorry for swearing so much. For emphasis, though, but you don't really have to be a miserable wretch, but you can be if you allow society and about 99.9% of what the people are teaching out there to take you down, 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 down into the death zone. Once your enzymes are completely depleted, you're gone. It's cancer, it's diabetes, it's depression, it's death. No more happiness, no more joy, no more energy, no more hiking and feeling pretty good about life, That like, oh, there's a lot of hope, because hope comes from your stomach, and if you get good food in there, like the best food, let me share this thing right here, man. You've never even seen this before, and neither have I until yesterday. It's called a golden russet apple, and it is absolutely freaking epic. And there's also, I have several other apples as well. I have these envy apples. What are those ones? I don't know. There's all these different apples. It's apple season and Asian pear season. And so if you fill your stomach with that, bam, dude, you're going to be stoked. Okay? So it's real food, raw food, but I know I tell all these stories and stuff. It's really weird the way I do this. I just wish I could just get to the point and make a 2-minute video that says, if you drink 32 ounces of juice every day, fresh juice, whatever. Some people need low sugar. Some people need more. I like a combination of all of it. I can drink or eat anything with no problem. Now, I don't. But the reason why is because I used to have a chart above my bed in my trailer when I lived on my parents' farm, and it was a chart of the gastrointestinal tract. And I was like, I'm going to get my business on point. And my business is on point. And if you eat the right food and you simplify and you don't mix all this stuff together, it'll be real basic. You got to learn a little bit of food combining. Simple mono meals are the best. I live off juice, 1 or 2 juices in the day, and then a nice little moderate meal at night with the fats and the proteins, which has been, you know, for an ectomorph, Vata type, Vata Pitta, you know, it's just like the fat, the protein, or the amino acids, if you will, and the carbohydrates. Like, I love them all. I don't believe in, I've already done all the extremes, and then you stand up here on your soapbox and you're like, I haven't eaten fat in 6 months, you fat losers. And it's like, well, yeah, you're a newbie, you're a beginner, and your brain is going to shrink, you know, and you're going to have strange extremes, but just after a long time, you're lucky you live right in the middle, and you're always just relatively healthy. Isn't that amazing? And no diseases, no cancer, energy to hike, have fun, have a good life, happy relatively. Sometimes the shiznit hits the fizzan, but it's like an adventure, a challenging adventure, a little cold, a little wet. Where am I going to sleep? Where am I going to live? You know, and then you're just like in the motel room, you get some sleep, and you're like, oh, okay, I can think straight. Maybe I should make some videos because it's my job, it's my art, it's my service. And all you need to do is get a juicer every day, make 32 ounces of juice, and take 10, better yet 20 of these. These are actually the lifetime, they're more inexpensive. And then you take those on an empty stomach for therapy, and you take them with food every time you eat cooked food. And your energy will slowly build over time. Because if you're cooking your food and you're eating it, you've got no enzymes. And the cooked food also destroys secondarily the vitamins. And then after that, even higher heat for longer periods of time, the minerals, of course, and the fiber. The enzymes go first. The fiber goes second. Then the vitamins go third, and then all the rest of it, the nutrients. And so then by the time, you know, you get to it, it's like there's just nothing left in there for you. You know, I get it. But there's a lot to it, though. There's a lot of different geography and anthropology and stuff, so nobody has all the right answers, you know. But just the daily juicing habit calibrates the gut, saturates you with nutrition to set the day off right, you know? And then when you take the enzymes, it will work on whatever it needs to work on, whether that's inside your GI tract with all these biofilms and candida and parasites that just build up over time. You know, I mean, it's just all the different foods. And everybody has some people are sugar people, some people are meat people, some people are bread and carby people, you know, and it just depends on what you've allowed over the course of your life to just predominate your ecology, which then predominates your psychology. And if you can become a Jedi and you'd be like, I am going to take control of these microorganisms, and I'm going to take control of my mind, and I'm going to make this decision, like a lemon ginger blast will clean it all out and bring in chlorophyll so you don't smell so bad. I haven't worn deodorant in 25 years. I hope I never do again for the rest of my life. But you have to make sure you're not rotting from the inside out. So you have to keep your mouth to your anus clean. And one way you can do that is with the herbs, the cleanse powder. I'll do the Core 4 tomorrow, or I might have to call it the Fantastic 4 or the Fabulous 4, because there's another company that has the Core 4. But it is the Core. It's a 4, you know, it's using 4 different offerings that they have from the paradigm. And you just use those and you clean it out with the cleanse. Then you use the enzymes in the herbal blood. And then you take the probiotics, and you can culturize your foods too. And that's another way to pre-digest the carbs, proteins, and fats. That's why when you eat at Olak, you feel a lot better. And then when you eat at these other places where they don't soak, sprout, and culture, it's like, ooh, heavy raw food, boom, butt plug. You know, you're clogged up, bogged down. You see what I'm saying? So once again, it takes me 20 minutes to say what I really wanted to say, which was the best thing you can do for your health, and just get back on it, okay? I'm living in a motel room right now, borrowing a juicer, you know, and I'm mixing up my juice in this big ass pot. And then I had to borrow some jars too, but I'm making it happen. And the second I drank my first juice, I was like, hallelujah, praise the Lord. Because it just, the green juices, they're medicine for your body, mind, and soul. And I was sitting here, I got a sink, I got a cutting board, I got a knife, and I'm sitting here making this juice, and I'm just filled with the light of ecstasy. And I'm like, I got to get a kitchen with a sink. Right now I'm living out of the back of my car, you know, because a lot of crazy stuff happened. I had to get this handled because I was getting backed up with the consults. If you want a consult, you call me at trueradianthealth@gmail.com. That's my email. And we'll set up a consultation. There's a link down below, trueradianthealth@gmail.com. Send me an email, and then we will get into contact, because I've been guiding people. There's a lot going on, you know. Within 1 hour, though, I can change your life, because people are not paying attention to what's going on in the modern society. We need to go back. I know this is modern and this is modern and stuff, and it makes up for, but there's some other things that just people need to get on point with. And living foods is one of them. And if you're taking the living foods, you're going to have way more energy. So I just trying to get this message to come across clear. 32 ounces of juice with 10 or 20 of these enzymes is the best way to start your day, because you're going to have good blood. It's going to calibrate your food choices for the rest of the day. And when you're saturated with nutrition, I'm not talking about, oh, I had a juice, this little tiny ass thing. No, you saturate your body with vitamins, minerals, enzymes, living water. And these enzymes are going to take you to another level, because the poor pancreas, the poor liver, the gallbladder, the salivary glands are double in size, because they're just trying to keep up with the concentrated carbohydrates, the concentrated highly cooked proteins, and then the concentrated highly heated fats. I mean, the body cannot do it. And that's why you get saggy, flabby, cellulite, and all the different varicose veins, and the cancers, and the diabetes, and every single other disease is an enzyme deficiency. That's why the fasting, the dry fasting, is the best, because then when you're dry fasting, your body produces these enzymes that break down the trash so that it can access the water. Do not dry fast. You're not ready yet. But once you are, then you'll understand. Water fasting, you start out slow. Then your body starts producing enzymes on day 4. These people online that are like, never fast more than 3 days, you'll lose your gains, bro. Don't listen to that crap. Fasting doesn't even start until day 4. Then the enzymes start coming out and making up for all of your sins. That's the only real sins, is the sins of diet. And if you eat the food that was designed by the Creator, the way it's designed with its synergistic properties, the enzymes being the number one thing that pre-digests it. If not, you're robbing yourself. And you're just tired. Everybody's so tired. Come on, there's nobody to play with. Sucks, dude. So I gotta play with myself. Dan McDonald, what are you saying? Dude, did I get through the message? Damn it. You better listen to what I say, and you better do what I tell you to do. I'm the police. It's nothing but love. Can you dig it? There's mint growing around here, and I was going to get some, but I forgot to put mint into the lemon ginger blast, so I took 1 drop of spearmint and put it in there, and now it's a lemon ginger blast. This is my breakfast. I've been on the phone all morning doing consults. Of course, walking consults. I just go out on the trail here and just walk and talk. And so that was really awesome. So killing 2 birds with 1 ex-stoner. Can you dig it? Dan McDonald, you're not politically correct. Please be what we want you to be. Fit into my box, Dan McDonald. Don't fit into anyone's box. Be yourself. You'll probably piss off about 99% of the people, but that's their problem. You got to be the way God made you, or you will never be free. Can you dig it? And that's the number 1 lesson I need to learn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, And when I say praise the Lord, I mean praise the Lord. Green juice is what it is, kids. And this paradigm stuff is the next level. Why? Because it's the industrialized, technological, consuming everything dead has created an environment inside of the human gastrointestinal tract that keeps you in the constipated doom loop. And then you're like, you know what? We got to hoard all this stuff. Save that cup. Save that bread clip. We could use it for something when the war ends or something like that. It's like, throw everything in the trash. Clean out your house. Clean out your fridge. Clean out your clothing. Clean out your clothes. You got too many old clothes from the 1970s. The moths are eating them. Get a refresh. And when you clean out your colon with the Pyridine, which is the gut cleansing company, gastrointestinal reset and regeneration, using herbs and enzymes and probiotics. Once you get it good, you're going to be good. It's going to take a minute because the people are like, oh God, that's a lot of stuff and I'm addicted. I get it. But you don't give up. You never give up. And you keep on going. I got really lucky. I just found this before it was even anything. There was no internet. I just juiced every day because it's just made sense. And so it became this thing. And so now I just hang out with somebody for one day and they're like, I'm totally raw. Like that's what happened to two people very close to me. They know, and they're like, ever since we hung out, I've been totally raw. And that's two people have texted me in the last day. Yesterday to tell me that. I'm like, okay, cool. That's great. Because I'm carrying the torch, baby. And you better do what I say or you are wrong. No. It's just chill, man. If you were here, there's a stove. I haven't had a stove for 3 years. In my little tiny box apartment, no stove. And then in my other apartment that I just moved out of, no stove. But there's a stove here. And if you were hungry and you said, hey, I really want to eat this, I don't give a crap about your protocol or any of that crap that you talked about on your video, I would make you whatever you wanted. I'd bake it in the oven here. I'd put it on this thing. I'd make you whatever you wanted and I would make it with love. And it would be the best thing you ever ate because I make all food with love. So make sure you get that lesson too, no matter what you eat, when you eat, how you eat, where you eat, or who you eat with. You've got to do it in love. You can't be thinking this donut's going to make me fat. You've got to think this donut's going to get me through the marathon tomorrow. This donut is going to get me through work. This donut is delicious. I love this donut and this donut loves me. And that's a totally different frequency because you are the one that creates with your mind. So keep your freshness flushing that crap out of there. Your colon will get clean, your mind will get clear, and you'll be able to break free. People ask me all the time, how do you stay stoked? I wouldn't say I'm stoked all the time. I got to deal with a lot of crap with all these corporations that have us on all these monthly plans, and then you try to cancel, and it's like, well, in about 6 months we can cancel your monthly subscription. You're like, I want that canceled now, motherfucker. I'm going to get pissed off because these fools are tripping. So they got us by the you-know-whats, and I'm sick of it. But that's okay. We're going to break free, and we're all going to start a community garden somewhere. I'm just kidding. But anyways, it's tough, man. This world is crazy. But it is beautiful, and there is a lot of beauty. And you can fortify yourself by strengthening your gastrointestinal tract with real food and get that energy going again and get out of that doom loop, which is it's all the encrusted fecal matter. And then there's all these microorganisms that have been in there for years off the fried foods, the candy bars, and everything else, the highly processed, ultra-processed foods with chemicals and additives and preservatives, which are enzyme antagonists. So not only are we cooking all the enzymes out of our food, but we're also consuming anti-enzyme foods that shut down the enzyme systems in your body because they shut the enzyme systems down in the food so that the food doesn't go bad on the shelf. So they put enzyme inhibitors in the food on the shelf, and we're constantly saturating our bodies with those. So we're pickling ourselves from the inside out, which is accelerated aging. So we want to stay hydrated, minerals, vitamins, enzymes, fiber. You know, I know I watch all the videos, so you don't need to try to tell me. I just believe in this way of life because it works for me, because it keeps my stomach flat and it keeps me out of the doom loop. I'm a relatively happy person, considering everything that I've been through and all the bull crap. And I think it's because of the way I take care of my gut. When you have all that rotten crap in there, it keeps producing all of this, the metabolites that are produced by the microorganisms. There's an infinite array of microbiology available to us, depending on the nature and the condition of the gastrointestinal tract. Oxygen levels, what type of food we eat. There's oxygen in the food. And when there's oxygen present in the GI tract, certain types of microorganisms flourish and other ones do not flourish. When we get it to an anaerobic, yes, it's partially anaerobic, but if you keep oxygen-rich food in there, it'll be more of a biodynamic garden instead of an oxygen-deprived seething bog where all these dysbiotic microorganisms that live in the dark damp of decay, instead of the light of the fresh food and the electromagnetic energy of the biophotons that you just put through the juicer, put into the thing, and then saturate your body with bioelectrical energy and living structured H2O2, which keeps the cells light. Then the nutrients can get into the cells and animate the mitochondria and release all the waste matter as well. But when it's dead water, tap water, all highly disorganized, and you're slowly but surely falling asleep. And I could talk forever about health because I do thousands of consults and there's a million different things, but you just want to get on a healthy lifestyle and only you can do it. You're the only one. And don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Get a juicer, make juice, and blast the enzymes. Take the enzymes when you eat cooked food, before and after, and watch how much energy you feel afterwards. You're like, oh wow, it doesn't even feel like I ate. And then try to work your way towards more raw food. You know, and you'll start to feel better. I can guarantee you that. And if you get to sleep and you get some stretching and some movement and some sunlight, all that's going to come together. It can be done. You have to make the choice for health because our society is stupid. Our government, you're like, we're having this arguments about healthcare and stuff. It's like, oh God, you will never get healthy with healthcare because they know nothing about health and they don't want to get you healthy. If you're waiting around for the government and their healthcare stuff, it's never going to work. It's never going to happen. If you don't do it, the government can't do it. The doctors can't do it. The pharmaceutical companies can't do it. None of them can do it because they're never going to tell you about this, which is the number one problem, is enzyme deficiency. That's why when you're a kid, you hurt yourself, bam, you're up in 30 seconds. Let's go again. You know, you're like crash on your bike or something. You're like, zinc, the enzymes. That's what happened to me the other day. I'm walking. I got high enzyme potential. I'm walking, and there's all these people, and I twisted my ankle, crunch. That sucker snapped. Of course, there was so many people around, though I didn't want to act the fool, so I just kept walking. 30 seconds later, my foot it just healed itself. And there was no problem, but it was a serious sprain. Crunch, you know, on my foot. I stepped on this little stump. When you have high enzyme potential, bam, they go right to work. Keep your enzyme potential high with living foods, fasting also, enzyme therapy, herbs, sunlight, sleep. I mean, on and on I can go. I was going to be quick. I never can. I actually care. You know, I actually do care. Like, this is my job. Number one, it's also an art. Number two, it's also a service. Number three, and I'm a man. If I don't work, I'm number one, a lazy fool. Number two is the devil's playthings are the hands that produce no work. And I like it. I like people, and I like this show. I like this Life Regenerator thing, you know? And so this is the everything to me. And so I got to deal with all the backlash or whatever. I also get a lot of love, too. But you know what? It's just like, it's all of it. And it's hard to do all of it. But there's a lot of crappy jobs out there, and I don't have that. I have this job. And it's an epic-ass job. And my job is Pyridine, you know? And if you want to get healthy, you can utilize the Pyridine the juicing, the soaking, the sprouting, the culturization. You can use the aminos to keep your hair. You know, right now it's like attack amino acids. I don't need amino acids. We need amino acids. You need it for your hair, your skin, cell repair. You don't need that much. But the full spectrum at one given time is very, very efficient. And there's a million other things that you can do with soaked, sprouted, cultured, gorilla milk, lemon ginger blast, the herbs. These are the, this is the, there it is, 8 herbal blood. I was not able to do the protocol while I was out on the road. So I'm here to heal myself. Only after a couple of days, I feel way better, dude. I was zooted out, man. Hella stress. No big deal, though. No big deal. I'm a big boy. I thrive off the adventure. In fact, I'm going to go out. As soon as I get everything caught up here, I'm going back out, dude. And it's going to get colder and wetter and snowier as time goes on. And I'm going to fight the weakness within and become a man again. Because all this highly technology stuff, it'll make you a wuss. And it'll make you soft and weak. Punk. Anyway, I know I scream at you and like, so what are you saying? What I'm saying is every day you get 32 ounces of juice and 10 of those, or 20 if you're smart. And you just get it. This is the life sign. Get the 1,000 count bag. They're back in stock. And every time you eat cooked food, you blast 5. The directions say 2 or 3. 2 capsules. It's like, let's just get it. You can't overdose on enzymes, and they recycle themselves. They'll keep, you can keep recycling them as they go through the system. They'll just be used again and again and again for digestion and metabolism. And you'll get more energy. Your brain will come alive and awake, because every thought requires enzymes. Every heartbeat requires enzymes. Every single thing, every movement, everything you do requires enzymes. Your foot, when you twist it, the body, either you're hella old and you're just like, and then you got to go home and you got to rest for 3 or 4 days, or if you have super high enzyme activity, you twist your ankle, it pops, keep walking, and then it's like the enzymes just go, and then within about 1 minute later, you're already running on it again. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. I'm stoked. I'm super healthy and super grateful, which is another key component. I wish I could talk all day, because there is a lot of stuff I left out today. But today's video was the same thing I talked about in all these consults, was just this. Because they forget the juice, they're not taking the enzymes, they're eating all kinds of everything under the sun that's just not alive. And it's heavy. And that's why I just talk. I'm like, okay, just go 20 minutes and then stop. And now it's 40 minutes. And I just keep on going, because there is a part of me, whether you are aware of it or not, you probably wouldn't be here if you thought I was a dick at the end of this video, but that I actually do hope, because I talk to all my friends and they know this stuff, but they don't do it. Why? So that gives me a job to every day get up here and remind everybody, just like a Nike commercial, just do it. Can you dig it? I'll do the core 4 and explain the whole detox protocol where you could transform your lives. Expert fasters, fruitarians, liquidarians, breatharians use the paradigm, and it takes them to another level, because it's some high vibes, dude. Nature and science isn't going to change, and technology does have its benefits. And the enzyme technology is way up there, and it's needed. If we ate like animals and didn't cook our food, we'd be fine. We wouldn't even need it. We'd live to be 1,000 years old. It'd be great. But the enzymes get burned up from the coffee, the stress, cooked foods, excessive heat or cold in the environment, etc. And we're just burning the candle at both ends. And then by our 30s is it. That's the peak, that's the end. A couple of last hurrahs, you know. But if you are on the living foods and the enzymes, you're in your 50s and you're still feeling like you're in your 20s. You know, and you don't get all that stuff sticking to you to get the blubbery fat and waste. You keep a nice, healthy, toned figure as well. And I could talk about this stuff for forever. And I've gone on way longer than I wanted. If you want, let me know. I'll do like an 1.5 hour long video. And I will talk about way more stuff than this. This was just the basic prereq. Easy. Simple. Green juice and enzyme. Digestive enzymes when taken with food. Therapeutic enzymes when taken on an empty stomach to clean out the blood. To get the liver working again. But to clean out the blood. All the parasites, all the fungus, all the white blood cells, all the mold, it's all in there in the live blood cell analysis. You can see it, and then a lemon ginger blast and a handful of enzymes, and about 30 minutes or 1 hour later, the whole bloodstream looks completely different. Can you dig it, kids? I know that you can. I'm going to shut the heck up now and go.